I'm 26 years old and have been unemployed for 8 months. I live in a tiny 6.5 square meter room that costs just $80 a month. How do I survive in such a small space? And more importantly, how do I make ends meet with no income?
Hi everyone, I'm new. It's 5:30 in the morning. Today is a new day, and it's also my 7th day living in this tiny room. I just woke up, and my eyes are still a little sleepy. To save money, I live in a shared 6.5 square meter room upstairs, with shared space downstairs. It's a shared room for a mother and her daughter. She's a single mom raising a 10-year-old girl. To save money, she decided to sublet the bedroom where I live for $80 a month. We share the kitchen, refrigerator, washing machine, bathroom, and wardrobe. The biggest inconvenience is the shared clothes hanger is too cramped and somewhat damp at the bottom of the stairs, and we still haven't solved this problem, so most of my clothes are still in my backpack. These days, we're in the middle of the rainy season here in Lomdong. There's also a low pressure system nearby, so the weather has been more unpredictable than usual. Some days it rains from morning until night. Today might be one of those days. The sofa I'm sitting on is actually the bed that the mother and daughter sleep on at night. When I wake up each day, they've already left the house. The mother has to go to work very early, and the little girl also has to get up with her mother to make it easier to get to school. Since it's still raining, I probably won't be able to go out anytime soon. So while we're waiting, let me give you a little tour of the place I'm living in. This isn't a fancy apartment or a spacious home. That's my sleeping area. Calling it a bedroom might be a little generous. It's really just a small loft space above the main room. The area is about 6.5 square meters. Just enough space for a mattress. Below is a shared space, and this study desk is where my daughter studied every evening before I moved here. So I happily let her sit at the desk to study whenever she wants. The space is pretty cramped, but it's okay for now since I don't own many things. One thing that's a little unusual is that this space doesn't have a door, so privacy is fairly limited. If people are talking downstairs, I can hear everything clearly. But considering my current budget, I can only afford one such room in this crowded city. My life is very simple. I can't afford to stay unemployed for much longer. To be honest, this period of my life hasn't been easy. I don't even want to open my email because most of the emails I receive are rejection letters. As of today, I've received more than 10 rejection emails. I get disappointed and discouraged too. Maybe my resume isn't good enough, or maybe I just haven't found the right opportunity yet. But then I think about my current situation. Being unemployed is already scary. Being unemployed with very little savings left is even scarier. Every day, I spend a few hours searching for jobs. I browse through countless job listings and sending out another application. So for now, the only thing I can do is keep trying. Most households in Vietnam keep a supply of instant noodles at home, and my rented room was no exception. Instant noodles are quick and convenient. In just a few minutes, you have a hot meal ready to eat. For students, workers, or people trying to save money, it's even more common. Interestingly, Vietnam has been among the world's largest consumers of instant noodles for many years. Part of that comes from eating habits and the convenience of the product, but sometimes it reflects another reality as well. As the cost of living increases, financial pressure weighs heavily on a segment of the population. Incomes fail to keep pace with living expenses, and the increasingly fast-paced industrial lifestyle leads to drastically shortened meal times. According to research, instant noodles are considered a quick, convenient, and cheap food, but they lack sufficient nutrients and are not good for health. So I need to supplement my diet with vegetables. That's really good. The seasoning has a really pleasant aroma. The broth is rich and flavorful. On a cold, rainy day like this, a hot bowl of noodles really hits the spot. If we're talking about taste alone, I could eat it quite often. To be honest, if instant noodles were healthier and provided all the nutrients of a balanced meal, I could probably eat them instead of rice. This is my vegetable portion for today. A bowl of instant noodles and a few slices of bell pepper. It sounds a little funny, doesn't it? But that's all I have left in the refrigerator right now. I'm dipping it in a little salt. In Vietnam, it's actually quite common to eat fresh vegetables with salt. All kinds of fruit taste much better when dipped in salt. After eating, I have to make sure the common areas are always clean and everything is in its proper place. Now that the rain has stopped, I'm taking the opportunity to go to the market to buy food for dinner. I don't own a motorbike, so I don't need to pay extra for parking. And I mostly get around on foot or by ride-hailing services. Today, I'm going to the market. My budget for lunch is only around $1. There are mini markets and shopping centers nearby, but I still choose the local market because it's cheaper and I don't need to pay extra VAT. Recently, I've become used to calculating every small expense.
Every time I come to a market like this, I find it fascinating. For some people, buying a meal with about $1 might sound unbelievable, but in many parts of Vietnam, it's still possible. Markets are a very familiar part of everyday life in Vietnam. Before large supermarkets became common, most people bought their food at markets. And even today, many people still do. What I love most about markets is how personal they feel. Vendors and customers often know each other. People chat while buying and selling. The atmosphere is always lively. You can hear greetings and conversations everywhere. People negotiating prices.
Dạ mực này bao nhiêu ạ? 250. Có 250.
To many foreigners, a Vietnamese market might seem a little chaotic. But for Vietnamese people, it's a very normal part of daily life. It's not just a place to buy food. It's also a place where people connect with their community.
Năm ngàn ngổ với húng quế cô ạ. Về đây hả? Nhớ đường về là được rồi. Đi luôn thơm nhớ đường về là ra đến lúc đúng giờ chưa được mình.
Cái gì con gái?
Cho con một ít thịt luộc.
À,
Cho con cái này dạ.
ngon lắm.
Ít thôi, nửa thôi. Nửa thôi báo ơi.
Cái này có 50.
Không nửa thôi con mình con. Con ăn có một bữa.
Không được. Cái này có 15.000.
Dạ. Cho em ít ớt.
Có đủ 10 á?
Dạ.
Có gì nào?
Dạ được. Rồi em cảm ơn.
Chú chiên hả? Ồ, bán luôn, tại mình đã lóc.
It looks like the rain is about to get heavier again, so I decided to book a ride through an app. In Vietnam, ride-hailing services are extremely popular. All you need is a smartphone and an internet connection. You can get a ride within minutes. You can do so many things without leaving home, from ordering meals to sending packages or booking transportation. Almost everything can be done through a phone.
Dark clouds were rolling in from the distance. I can see many people hurrying along the streets. Some are speeding up to get home faster. Others pull over to put on their raincoats. Some quickly grab a few things before rushing back home. It feels like everyone wants to get home before the rain really starts. And so do I. This is the building where I rent my apartment. My rented room is in a 3-story building with 3 street frontages. The first floor houses a cafe and wedding dress showroom. The second floor is a gym, and the third floor is a yoga studio. My room, which I share with the mother and daughter, is a partitioned space within that larger building. Because of its convenient location, the price is also high. $80 per month for 6.5 square meters with a shared bathroom and kitchen. Today's dinner is simple, but it's very Vietnamese. I have boiled pork, pickled eggplants, and some kimchi fried rice. The kimchi fried rice was saved for me by my roommate. Small gestures like that always make me feel cared for. This is pickled eggplant. It's a humble dish that has been part of Vietnamese meals for generations. Because it's lightly pickled, it stays crisp and crunchy. It has a mild, tangy, and salty flavor that pairs perfectly with rice. For many Vietnamese people, pickled eggplants and dipping sauce alone can make them eat several bowls of rice. Fresh white eggplants are soaked in lightly salted water. This helps prevent discoloration and keeps the eggplants looking fresh. After soaking for about 15 to 30 minutes, they're drained. Next comes the seasoning. Chili is sliced or crushed. Then it's mixed with fish sauce, sugar, and a little lime juice. Once the sauce is ready, the fresh white eggplants are mixed thoroughly with it. After just a few hours, it's ready to eat. Because it's pickled for a short time, it's called quick pickled eggplant. Unlike traditional pickled eggplants that take several days, quick pickled eggplants keep their signature crunch. It doesn't require expensive ingredients.
I opened the door to enjoy the cool evening air after the rain. This is a traditional Vietnamese meal for $1.
I only moved in about a week ago, but we've been living quite harmoniously and supporting each other. Fermented fish sauces are a unique part of Vietnamese food culture. There's fermented fish sauce, shrimp paste, fish sauce, and many others. But honestly, not everyone can enjoy them. Even in Vietnam, that's true. Some people absolutely love them. They believe fermented sauces are the soul of many dishes. But there are also people who can't stand the smell. Personally, I'm definitely in the group that loves it. This is fermented fish sauce. Hopefully, you'll be brave enough to try it when you visit Vietnam.
After eating, I have to clean up right away. Since this is a shared space, I try to put everything back in its place after use. Besides, I ate fermented fish sauce today. Vietnamese people are used to it, but the smell of fish sauce can linger in the room for quite a while. So I'll wash the dishes immediately, wipe down the kitchen, and open the windows a bit to ventilate the room. This is also where the mother and daughter sleep every day. I think when living with others, the most important thing is respect and a sense of responsibility for maintaining shared space. Just having each person clean up after themselves would make life much more pleasant. This room isn't big, but I want it to always be as clean and tidy as possible. I really hope we can become good friends online. I'm Nusi. See you in the next video.